All right, I want to do a reaction to listening to Nicholas Cacioppo on last night's Akron City Council meeting where you're allowed to talk.
Hey y'all, my name is Nick Cacioppo, live at 41 Marshall Avenue. Last week y'all heard from KMG Prestige and Redwood Housing about their supposed plans for the Erickson and Wilbith. For time's sake, I just want to let you all know that most of what they had to say were lies, and a number of you all kind of just went along with it. A few
This guy, man, truth to power. Nick is truth to power, baby. This man is not afraid.
of you even lied yourselves, acting as if you've been in communication with tenants or the union. I highly doubt that tenants would have said they were satisfied with KMG Redwood and the poor renovations they are doing if you had actually taken time to speak with them. You all should have received some links to videos of the meeting between tenants KMG and Redwood that took place on December 14th. In them, you see lots of tenants rightfully angry, and you see management staff who are unable to address concerns, but are willing to get into the faces of tenants and tell them they are lying. I'm not sure how KMG or Redwood could possibly say this meeting was a success or that they are on good terms with the tenants. A few days ago, we interviewed two tenants who were in the original Akron Beacon Journal article about the horrid conditions at Erickson and Wilbith. Links to those videos were also sent to you. The tenants watched the committee meeting and flat out say KMG and Redwood are lying. They were moved into a newly renovated unit 2 months ago with sewage coming up through the floor and drains, through the walls, and nothing has been fixed yet, despite repeated calls to management. You've known about this for several months now, and yet you all have done nothing. Some of you have known about this for years and have done nothing. Like literally, aside from touring these properties, you have done nothing to change anything for these tenants. That's pathetic. During the tenant union's meeting with HUD last week, which again was another circus where people unaffected by these conditions continue to pass the buck around, Jeff Fusco had the gall to say that the city doesn't have the resources to inspect these properties. Jeff, who along with the rest of you gave a $145 million blank check to Dan Horrigan, really had the nerve to tell tenants the city doesn't have the resources to inspect their homes. You all voted to buy the APD a new $300,000 tank 2 weeks ago, but somehow there aren't any resources for safe housing? The renovations have not and are not fixing any of the problems. Think about that carefully. Redwood Housing is paying contractors to do superficial renovations that are not resolving problems with rats, roaches, mold, and sewer backup. The majority of tenants and units in these complexes continue to experience the same problems with maintenance, health and safety, management, rising rents, and so on. You can't keep skirting accountability here. If it means all of you have to come out yourselves and inspect these apartments, then so be it. That will probably be the most useful thing many of you have done in your entire careers as public servants. But to continue to pass the buck and do nothing is pathetic and unacceptable. And don't forget that these two complexes are just the tip of the iceberg. They're the canary in the coal mine for Akron, and these problems are going to become evident in more and more of the city's rental properties. Peace.
I love that man. I love that man. He shows up. He does these. He speaks so succinctly, so clearly, and calls people out, and not in a way like I would do, where I would just be yelling and swearing. He's just really, just so smart. I really wish he was on city council. But what you're going to find is that these people are powerless. There's 13 council people that are supposed to be legislators. They have no power. They don't legislate. All that happens at Akron City Council is the mayor sends down an idea and these schmucks approve it. That's all that happens. And so I had to stop going here to these meetings because they're incredibly frustrating. It's incredibly exhausting to talk to these people who are powerless. And furthermore, because they're only going to do what the mayor wants, and what the mayor wants is more $300,000 tax-free houses and to gussy up Main Street. And so if you want to stay in city council, that's what you're going to vote for. So of course they're not going to do anything for poor people. Of course they're not. They want their cushy, stupid job where they don't even have to go anymore and sit on, they don't have to actually show up at City Hall. They can now do this crap on Zoom. Meanwhile, down in the State House, they're showing up. Every other legislator in America is showing up, but not the precious people of Akron City Council. It's so exhausting, but God bless Nick Cacioppo or Cassioppo or you know him. That man's awesome.